Your contract was coming up, and you negotiated with WCW and Eric Bischoff. And of course, Eric Bischoff denies it. And says he negotiated. The only Taz he ever talked to was his cat named Taz.
Yeah, I guess that means I'm a pussy. Eric Bischoff's a fucking liar. First of all, he knows damn well he spoke to me and negotiated with me. I don't need to make shit up like that.
Yeah.
My deal was coming to an end, and Paulie and I were having some business, not problems, but just some disagreements, and you know, I just had a house built about a year and a half ago, and you know, just little things. I needed a little bit more of everything, and so Paulie actually suggested to me, he goes, Taz, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to suggest it, just so you can be a better employee here, and I know the way you are about people. I think you should explore your other options out there. He's like, I don't want you to go anywhere, but I think you should talk to Eric Bischoff. And I said, are you firing me? No, not at all. Because if you tell me fuck Eric Bischoff, I don't want to talk to him. Paul said, that'd be great, let's work out a deal, but he goes, I think that you need to do this. I was very unhappy here right before my deal ended. I mean, I was very, very unhappy. The guys knew it, everybody, I mean, just, it was bad, you know. You guys are around enough, you probably noticed it. It was just the shits. So I took Paul's advice. He said to me just before you agree to sign a letter of intent or anything like that, just talk to me first. Give me your word, no contract. He goes, I go, you got my word. And he trusted me.
Yeah.
So I talked it over with my wife and crap, and a couple of days went by, and then I called Eric Bischoff. I spoke to him, and he was like very leery. You know, do you have a contract? This now my deal's coming to an end shortly, and you didn't sign for 1998. No, I did not yet. Blah blah blah. It was okay. Can you call me back? Or I said, you can call me back. Why don't you call me back? I'll play this fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, we spoke later on that afternoon, and I'm sure I was being recorded, and there was 15 guys in the fucking room, the whole goofy jabroni fucking asshole thing. No problem. I'll play the game. And we talked, and Bischoff, made sure I didn't have a contract. He's protecting himself, and for 98 this is. And I told him the truth. I said, when we hang up, I'm letting you know I have to call Paul, and I'm going to tell him, I can do business with this guy, or I can, or this. They want to offer me this much. How much will you give me? And I said, I told him I want to work for Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was like, okay, why are we speaking then? I go, well, because if I can get a better deal from you, then I'm going to work for you.
Yeah.
So he made an offer. It was a good offer. I'm like, okay. And I said, can we talk tomorrow? And he goes, well, what do you think? I go, well, it's not that easy, I mean, I have to talk to Paul, and I'm going to talk to my wife. Okay, he goes, and I forget the exact words, but he said, let's talk tomorrow, and I'll give you another offer. Great business, All right. So, I'm like, okay, what am I saying? No, don't give me another offer. Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't matter. If he would have offered me $60 zillion, I still, not to sound corny, but I gave my word to Paul. I'm going to talk to him. Yeah. And I have a good deal in ECW. I had a good deal. I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to just be another guy who left ECW. I've seen so many guys coming in and out. It's sick of the shit. Spoke to Paul for that evening. About 15 minutes. We talked. Worked out a new deal. Right there, done for 98.
Yeah.
Agreed to it, Didn't sign the paper, no need, just I trusted his word, he trusted mine. I said, you got it. I said, I'm just gonna let, if I speak to Bischoff tomorrow, if I speak to him, don't be hot about it. I just, I told the guy, give him at least a call, He goes, no problem, he goes, don't burn a bridge, you never know. I go, okay, cool. Of course, he told me, he said, Taz, because he knows me, Paul, he's like, as soon as you talk to Bischoff for 5 minutes, people.
Yeah.
You're gonna be turned off. And if you don't, and you fly down there with your wife to meet him, he goes, because Paul knows my wife. He's like, your wife's never gonna let you sign a contract with these people.
Right.
Because of the way Eric Bischoff is.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck if Bischoff sees us or not. Paul's right. If that means I burn a bridge, I don't give a fuck. God forbid ECW folded today, I'll fucking wash cars. I don't give a fuck. I'll break fingers at the Brooklyn fucking Navy Yard. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't need to work for him.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, and if he thinks he was being trapped in any way, shape, or form because I'm an office guy, he wasn't being trapped.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I was honest with him. He's not used to maybe dealing with honest people, but I was being honest with him.
Right.
And then, basically the next day it was like, I'm set with Paul and and he really wasn't super happy about it.
Yeah.
And there was another figure thrown out. It was good. There was a comment thrown out. Well, you're not making that where you are now.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know that. And even if I wasn't, it doesn't matter. It's my prerogative to go and stay where I am.
Right.
Why would I go work somewhere where I have to be on the road 250, 260 days a year compared to 150 days a year, and I'm making just a little bit less?
Right.
I have to be a fool.
Right.
And I have a job for life here.
Yeah.
I have say. I'm not a puppet.
Yeah.
And I can be myself. And I don't have to worry about, Taz blew out his shoulder in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So let's reevaluate his contract and give him his notice. I know if Taz blows out his shoulder in Buffalo, when my shoulder heals, I'll be working again.
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid while I'm healing. I mean, I've earned that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was worried that, the trust that Paul and I had with each other, maybe it did happen, maybe it kind of got a little weaker because I did speak to Eric.
Yeah.
But Paul, I'm not saying, well, Paul told me to do it. I'm not saying that,
Right.
but, Paul did what he had to do. I did what I had to do. And the bottom line is, as Paul says, hey, you didn't go nowhere, you stood.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm happy I did. And I'm happy with the money I'm making. Very happy. And at home, my home life is happy about it. So that's important to me. So, I mean, hey, sure, I mean, I'm not on the Monday Night Wars and all that shit, but it doesn't matter. I'm in a company that's only 5 years old, that's growing like a son of a bitch. And I have a top spot that I've earned, that I've been in from the very beginning. I've watched it grow. I worked at Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, in front of 200 drunken motherfuckers. So I mean, I've worked the other goofy towns we worked in, that strip joint pulsations, whatever. So I've done all that shit. So I mean, I'm glad we don't go to the builds no more. I'm sure you guys are glad too. But
all everybody does is complain. It works out there anyway. So.
God, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I heard that the atmosphere in WCW is not good anyway. The guys are kind of. If you got guys making, 8, 9 a year, then they're unhappy. Well, if you're making 350, 250 a year, there's a good chance. I'm no fucking genius, but I mean, if you're making 80 a year and I'm making 350, and you're not happy. Dear light fucking bulb, I'm not gonna be happy.